asked them to give support to boycott the first day of Parliament when Jagdeo was slated to speak to the House, since we were forced to contest an election with a flawed list. They undertook to join us in the boycott, but whilst the 21 of us PNC R1G members were sitting in Congress Place, Clarissa Reel was in Brickdam checking out the Parliament, and at 5 minutes to 2 p.m. she called us to tell us to get down there quickly since the AFC were going into the House. Ladies and gentlemen, if the PNC were not there in Parliament, Corbin would have been made the leader of the opposition. You, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what this means. At numerous select committees which selected the members of the service commissions, Sheila Holder voted with the PPP and did not support the opposition. Now we are told that of the 4 existing companies which will benefit from Jagdeo's reorganization of the telecommunications sector, Mrs. Holder's husband's company will be one. And what was to me the most vile betrayal of the opposition is this. Since getting into Parliament, Jagdeo formed the Integrity Commission. Now anyone with one cataract-infected eye can see that the PPP functionaries and cronies are building mansions in this country and expressing all other sorts of inexplicable wealth given their salaries. So the opposition expressed no confidence in the Integrity Commission, as they were supposed to do, and decided that none of us would produce any information about our assets until it is properly formed. But the PPP functionaries' assets were growing alarmingly, and this Integrity Commission said nothing. So our position was that until we saw a properly constituted and autonomous Integrity Commission, we would not recognize it or file any of our returns. On the 6th of March 2011, I read in the newspaper that Mr. Ramjatan had again broken ranks with the opposition and agreed to supply his information to the Integrity Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, to my mind, and I could be wrong, I think that the AFC is far more likely to join the PPP than to join the opposition against the PPP. Their performance so far shows this quite clearly. I saw it before the 2000 election, and that is why I left it. Now we come to the PNC. They had a perfect candidate in Mr. Murray, but for some reason they did not want him. So they put him in a presidential candidate race, which he did not survive. I cannot begin to tell you how hurt he was that he was forced to run all over the country campaigning against Granger. It was unnecessary and it was ridiculous, but we all know what happened. Next, they had 5 candidates, and at the end of the process, Granger, supported openly by the PNC and Corbin, emerged as the winner. But how did he win? By what margin did he win? Well, only 42% of the delegates said that they wanted Granger. 58% voted for someone else. Basil Williams 88, Harding 20, Bond 13, and Greenwich only 13 votes less than Granger. So Granger only barely pipped Mr. Greenwich in the election by around 13 votes. Therefore, given this very slim margin, especially since it does not account for more than 50% of the delegates' votes, right then at the same Congress, there should have been a runoff between these 2 men, Greenwich and Granger. But the PNC, in their wisdom, did not allow such a runoff. So Granger, and I have nothing against him, except that he apparently does not fully understand his situation, given his backers in the PNC who are not popular. So supporting the PNC at this time is not an option. We come to the PPP.